Ambitious Woman TV. Yeah, Ambitious Woman TV. Queens, claim your crown. Keep your head up and never let it down. Don't minimize your brilliance. Welcome back to another exciting segment here at Ambitious Women Crown TV. I am your show host, Kim Bullock Hennix, with another ambitious woman, a queen, right? Jacent Wamala.
Yeah.
And she's joining us today. And you know what's amazing is she's not only a marriage and family therapist, she's also a money mindset coach. So listen, we're going to get to the coins today. What's a queen without the bag, right?
Listen,
Okay.
That's the truth right
Right,
there.
yes. I'm so excited to have you. I want to first talk about your area of expertise, you know, as a marriage and family therapist, and then we're going to get into the money, honey. Okay? that's the real conversation right there, the money. Oh, man. I'm a lifestyle and abundance coach, and oftentimes women think that being abundant is only about wealth, which that's a part of it. Don't get it twisted. But as a marriage and family therapist, your topic, which I love, is Her Majesty's mental health. And that is for Ambitious Women Crown Retreat in Las Vegas. She's going to be delivering such an important, powerful message to queens. When you speak to your clients about the importance of mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you share with them, you know, this is something not just for that moment. Your mental health, that's a lifestyle.
Oh, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, essentially, right? Because you can think about it, and anyone who has had a good job, you know, great friends, things seem to be going well on the outside, but on the inside could be crumbling.
Wow.
And so things could look like they're great, you know, and things could actually be great. You could be making money, you could be, you know, having opportunities come your way, but if your mental emotional state is not in the right place, if you're not feeding yourself and taking care of Her Majesty's mental health, okay?
Yes.
Then you're not going to be able to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
any of those good things that are happening, the abundance, right? Because the abundance on the outside is not going to match the abundance that's within.
Wow.
And you can't have true abundance until you have it within to be able to attract, enjoy, and embrace on the outside. And so I really think that, you know, if we really were honest with ourselves, because sometimes we don't want to face the tough parts of our lives. It's scary. It's terrifying.
Yes.
It makes us have to ask questions of the things that we've been through and maybe some of our own choices.
Yes.
But when we're honest, then we can dig into that stuff so that we can have better access to even new, higher levels of abundance in all areas.
Wow.
And so that's really how I kind of explain it is, are we being honest with ourselves and what we can really enjoy and experience in life? Or are we actually kind of capping ourselves off because it's safe?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow. And I do find that, you know, that comfort zone,
Exactly.
right, is where they're like, okay, I'm stuck. I don't want to change anything because I'm afraid of the unknown, right? What made you decide to become a marriage and family therapist?
You know, I think it partially comes from really having a curiosity around like what makes people tick, what makes people do the things that they do, what helps them to be able to thrive in relationships, in their career, and as an individual. So I was just really curious about like what makes people tick.
Wow.
And how can I maximize my own experience as a human? Because if I learn all the hacks, if I, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like if I know, you know, how
it.
things work, then I can apply it to my own life as well. So it was a combination of really having curiosity within and also about human nature on the outside. And I knew I wanted to help. I knew I wasn't going to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not, I can't do blood and guts. Okay,
Right.
you know, I was like, but I want to help. You know, I wanna help the people. I just need to help them in
a different manner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I can help. What is an area that, you know, people seem to need a lot of help in?
Yes.
It's relationships. It's overall well-being. It's mental, emotional stability.
I love it.
And so that's really kind of what drew me. And really just understanding that the core of a lot of people's concerns or their joy and their foundation comes from family and their early childhood experiences. So, that to me is like, well, how can we fix more problems in the world? If I can help families, if I can help individuals and couples and people in relationships, then that ripples out into their systems, into their workplaces, into, their families and whatnot. So that's really where it came from.
I love that. I love it. And, when you think about being a queen and all of the responsibilities that we have as queens, if you're not balanced emotionally, I love how you said the emotional well-being, that takes us to a place that we have to go within, and you just cannot run from that, because it's going to show, like you said, what's on the inside, queens, shows on the outside. And we have to be honest. And that's where you can't fool yourself. Now, you can try to fool everyone else. But if you're breaking down, you cannot reign supreme. And so I love it, because at the retreat, Her Majesty's mental health, share with us, what does that mean to you as a queen?
Yeah, I think we all come into the world with the capability and with the birthright of abundance by nature.
Yes.
Right? When we see babies, we abundantly believe that all things are possible for them. But it's that life kind of beats us down and we get jaded along the way to think that we can't have more, that somehow we don't have access to the full, realm of what royalty has in store for all of us. And so to me, Her Majesty's mental health really is kind of the core of how to access and how to expand. Because I think women a lot of times, are taught to contract and to be small, not to take up space, to be quiet and silence themselves, until it's the right time. And to me, a queen, while she knows how to have grace and choose her words wisely, she also knows how to take up space and walk into a room and attract all of the eyes, you know what I mean? And so your mental health is going to be, like you mentioned, what exudes a different level of energy in the world, which people will automatically look at you and they're going to say, something's different about that person.
Right, what is it? Yeah.
They're not going to be able to put their finger on it, but they're going to be like, something's different about that person. Something about them, makes me want to light up. Something about them makes me want to be around them. That's how you attract the right relationships, whether it's professional or personal. That's how you attract the right opportunities, to grow professionally in your business or whatever the case may be. And so I really, really, really wholeheartedly believe that that is the core of everything else. And when you tap into that, everything else will be touched and affected in a positive way. Just like everything else is touched and affected in a negative way when we don't take care of our mental health.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, it does. It really does. And for me, I find that oftentimes us as women, we have the responsibility of so many different things, right? We're wives, mothers, business women, you know what I'm saying? Look, all of the different things, it's plenty more, but then when you say, okay, I have poured into this person and this person and this person, and, it's so much that we can do, but yet we neglect ourselves in the process, right? Then we get emotionally, right, withdrawn or overwhelmed because we're so busy pouring into everyone else. And this is why I created Ambitious Women Crown, a Queen's Luxury Retreat, because it's time for you, queens, to step into your greatness and to own, right, the power that's within. And you could only do that when you have your mental health aligned and balanced. We're not saying perfect, but balanced. And that's what I love about Jacent, because she is going to help you to recognize whenever you feel things are off, do that mental check. Go inside, go deeper, right? And even with me as an abundance coach, I know the importance of my boundaries as a coach. There's only certain areas that I will touch. When you're dealing with deep trauma, when you're dealing with some deep emotional things, a therapist is what I'm going to recommend. Okay? Listen, I know my areas, and I'm not going to try to be the booker, what they say, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. I'm not about to do all that. I will stay in my lane. We will focus on abundance and mindset blocks. But when it comes to those issues where you are dealing with, like I said, massive trauma or depression, severe depression, this is where you need to seek therapy. And I don't want you to be ashamed, right? It's okay. I have a therapist.
I have a therapist.
Okay, the therapist has a therapist. That's a revelation. Because why? She's pouring into so many other people. And what happens is you take on, sometimes you're as an empath, right? You take on, all of these different emotions and the spiritual energy and different things that are happening, and you're just like, you're drained. So you have to have that woosah moment,
Yes.
as I like to call it.
It's absolutely necessary. It's absolutely necessary. And just like you mentioned that, right? That happens for people professionally because you're a coach. That means that you're hearing people's stories and they're bringing you their struggles and you're hearing about them and you're helping them work through them.
Yes.
But you also have to have the boundary to not take it home with you or let it affect you from being able to help more. Right?
Jeez.
And so as an individual, you said previously that most of the time women have so many different hats that they're wearing. Mom, aunt, cousin, friend, coworker, boss, employee, wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Right? We have all of these hats and we're taking on the brunt of the experiences of the people that are around us, usually because we're taught to be caregivers and to be nurturing, and it's not a bad thing. No one's telling you to stop giving and to stop nurturing and to stop loving on other people, but the boundaries and having your own place to be able to go and talk things out and resolve and work through, things that you've either been through or are transitioning through in your life is absolutely vital to being able to have a sustainable way of showing up. Because if not, that's when we begin to resent the people in our lives. That's when we practice, passive aggressiveness. That's when we're unsatisfied and it erodes us. A lot of time for women, it'll erode us internally. And so it's kind of like a slow burn.
Wow.
So it'll be years and years and years and years and years.
You don't realize it until it's too late. Or we feel it and we ignore the signs.
Oh, man. Both of those are...
Okay. Not good, queens. Not good. Wow. How important is it to be an ambitious woman? Is it to you? And explain, what does that mean?
That's like my favorite thing. I was born in Uganda and I was raised in the States. And to me, while women have such a great role, I guess that's the best word I can choose right now, to be able to have grace and ease and all of that, to me, women are like lioness.
I love it.
Right?
Yes.
And among lions, there's the king of the jungle, which is the lion, right? We know that. But then there's the queen, who does the hunting among lions.
Look at that.
The lioness.
The lioness. And
she's
people
ambitious.
thought it was the queen, but they thought it was the king, but it's the queen that's out there handling business, okay?
He knows how to do it.
Right.
Okay, but the queen is the one who goes and she hunts. So we are hunters by nature, I feel like. Our ambition might be to serve on a grand scale. Our ambition might be business. Our ambition might be to be the best mom or friend or cousin or parent that we can possibly be. But ambition is in our nature. Like, I get goosebumps talking about it because I want more women to understand how to tap into that ambition and channel it so that we can have a strategy of where it goes. Absolutely. So most of us are just throwing our ambition everywhere.
All over the place. Okay?
And we're getting a whole bunch of nowhere, right? But when you can channel that ambition,
right,
that's when you start getting some really, really fun results.
I love
in your life. Yeah,
I'm so excited, and so definitely make sure, ladies, you take the time to register at ambitiouswomencrownretreat.com so that you can hear more in depth on how you can have Her Majesty's mental health align, right? And as she said, get it focused on one thing, not a whole bunch of stuff. I was always told overcommitment dilutes your effectiveness, right? So, Queens, it's about us strategically aligning with one mission at a time. We're not saying you can't have multiple projects, but at that time, you only need to focus on that one, right?
Yeah.
So now I want to get into the next topic. Since we focused on that one, is the money, honey. Listen, money mindset coach. All of us want money. And don't say you don't, because you're lying. You do. You need it to survive. Right? Now, how much you want depends on the person, depends on their goals in life and what they desire to achieve. But what I will say is I know we weren't created for lack. We were not created to struggle by any means. Let me tell you about this queen. Paid off over $90,000 in student loan and credit card debt. In how long?
3 years.
Living her life, her best life, without the weight and the financial strain. And the reason why, Jacent said she found the correlation between mental health and wealth was that she recognized women were not able to truly fulfill their destiny and their purpose when they had the burden of financial stress. Let's get into it.
Again, goosebumps.
Let's get into it.
It's my favorite.
Money mindset. How do you help a queen? Actually, let me rephrase it, because queens, we operate from abundance. I'm going to say a princess in a queen's body. She has a princess mentality, right? But the body of a queen, still operating in lack, still operating in fear and anxiety. How do you transition her mindset, her money mindset, right? From scarcity to overflow.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we come into the world abundantly. So our default, our original coding, programming, right? Like you mentioned, we weren't created for lack.
Right.
We come into the world in abundance, but it's that we have gone astray along the way. We've been led astray by social media, society, our environment, generational trauma, whatever the case might be. And so it's really helping women to remember, because it's already there. The coding is there.
Wow.
So just like when you learn how to ride a bike, if you don't ride a bike for a period of time, you get back on a bike, you're like, oh yeah, I've done this before. So it's helping someone tap into the abundance that already lives within them, and then helping them stretch those links out of time that they can operate in abundance, which means you are making different decisions from a different lens.
Wow.
So just like glasses, what happens is that no two people have the same glasses. Lack and limitation tells us that we have all the same glasses, that there's not enough. That, if there's, one business out there to help dog trainers, then I can't have a dog training business. There's already one out there. That's because you're looking through a lens of lack and limitation as opposed to a lens of abundance.
Yeah.
Where abundance says what is for you is for you. There's nothing that can take that away.
Wow.
And so it's really being able to remind women of their abundance and their worth, which is intrinsic, because when we talk about money, we talk about women saying things like charging what they're worth, getting paid what they're worth.
Absolutely,
and
yes.
That to me is counterproductive, because you were born worthy, so you can never be paid what you're worth. You're priceless.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
We're priceless.
Yes.
But there is a price to the services and the products we provide. And we need to know what that is and charge it accordingly.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, between really helping women to understand that their worth is intrinsic, that they were born with it, that they just need to remember and dust off the crown that's on the shelf that they forgot about.
Yes. Get that crown, honey.
Right. Because you say crown on,
That's
right?
it.
So
Yes.
they just forgot that the crown is theirs. They see it there and you get glimpses of it. That's why you have a vision.
Love it.
Because your vision is the reminder of the greatness that's already within you. We never have visions of things that are not real. We don't have visions that we're out flying without a plane. We can see ourselves flying in a plane because that makes sense.
Right.
We don't see ourselves flying independent of a hang glider or a plane or something like that, because it's not for us. So anything that someone has been seeded with is possible and already on the way.
Love it.
That's the crown they need to dust off to be able to remember that they're on a quest. So it's almost like, Disney movies,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Like when someone has been given a potion to forget.
Right.
A lot of princesses in queens' bodies are under a spell.
Look at that
And the
spell
spell-
of lack.
Listen, and the spell needs to be undone.
It needs to be cut, honey. Get rid of it.
Which really happens through experimentation. So the thing is that because lack and limitation is about fear,
Yes.
that someone gets so scared that they don't want to try anything. They get paralyzed. So we take away this idea that you have to do something in order to get a result or an outcome. Let's just experiment. Let's play. Try it without an attachment to the outcome, and let's see what happens. Try asking for more money, and let's see what happens. Try, saving for a week, even if it's just a little bit, $1 a
Something.
day.
Right, but you're making progress.
Exactly. And let's see what happens. So the experiment helps them to transform their mindset and remember, because they're like, oh, okay, when I detach myself from the outcome and I just play, then I usually get further than when I do nothing.
Than when you don't, right? And that is what they call insanity.
Right.
Trying to do more with the same steps and the same mindset. You have to grow. You have to be able to have that leap of faith to experience a quantum leap, right? And so I love the fact that you said even if it's $1 a day, right? $1 a day. I think about that quote that says, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away."
$1 a day.
$1 a day keep the brokenness away.
Okay. Because by then, if you did that for 365 days, you would have more money than most people have in a savings account to be able to cover an unexpected situation that arose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I love it so much. I do. So tell us about Jacent Gems.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it really was birthed out of my own experience and the women that I was working with. And I wanted to create a content library, I guess, or a resource library, because I can't be everybody's therapist, but people would ask me questions because they know I'm a therapist.
Right.
And so like, I love you. I can't see you, but, I can give you a book recommendation or whatever the case may be. And so I started Jacent Gems podcast as a resource library where I can share helpful tips, tricks, tactics and techniques along with other professionals and resources for women, mostly creative, queenly women, to uncover their hidden gems. So it goes along with the crown, with being royalty,
have that bling
right?
in the crown, honey.
Because I think that we're all gems. Some of us are uncut, some of us are more polished, but we're all gems, and we just have to know how to uncover the gem that we are. And so, that's essentially what it is. It's a podcast. It's where you can find me on all platforms is at Jacent Gems, and my goal is just to provide tools that enable women to build wealth without burning out.
Okay, that's the key right there. You got to do it the queen way now.
Right, because we have to, we have an air that we need to maintain,
uphold, all that.
Everything.
Love it. Oh, well, it has definitely been a pleasure having you here on Ambitious Woman Crown. I am so excited, what you shared, because I know it's been life-changing. And, queens, it doesn't get much better than that. When you have your mental health aligned, your money mindset, you are ready to just take on the world. And especially for those of us who have the power to create wealth as entrepreneurs. Now, those of you who may be business corporate babes, hey, I'm not knocking anyone. But what I will say is you be the best corporate boss lady that you can absolutely be. All right? But for entrepreneurial women and online influencers, we have a ceiling that cannot be capped. Matter of fact, we don't even have a ceiling. Let me just take that word out of that sentence. We have unlimited wealth potential. It all starts with your mindset. You have dropped some tremendous gems in sharing what does it feel like to have a queenly mindset about wealth and health, because they both go together.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we also captivated mental health, not just the physical, because that's what people think, oh, health, I'm going to eat right, exercise, go to the gym, but yet emotionally and mentally you're struggling. you know? And I don't want anyone to be embarrassed. If nothing else, what you receive out of this message today, I don't want for you to be ashamed to get help, to seek help. Okay? Because that is what's important. I'd love for you to share with our viewers, how can they reach you? If they want to support you, if they, I don't know, are you taking new clients at this time? Or are you at max capacity?
Yes.
Share with us how they can reach you or at least follow you on social media.
Yeah, the best way to find me is at Jacent's Gems because it'll be the easiest to come across, and that's JACENTSGEMS.
Love
and then
it.
from there, I can make sure to take you down whichever path is the most appropriate, which is really helpful because I can say, hey, actually, you need to talk to Coach Kim. Actually,
Okay,
right? You good? But I'm gonna let you know who you need to talk to, and then
Absolutely.
if you do need mental and emotional support, then I or someone on my team can make sure to provide those resources. So that's why it's really good to find me in one place, and then we can kind of chat to assess, okay, this is going to be the best course of action. And sometimes it's both. Sometimes you need to do coaching and counseling together at the same time.
Yes.
Make you your biggest investment because you will always get a return.
Always.
And it is something that will never not serve you well to invest in yourself,
Absolutely. And I find personal development is one of the most underdeveloped areas for queens. Okay? Or should I say princesses?
That's why they need to be
at Ambitious Women Crown.
Exactly.
You come through. Please come through. A luxury retreat, 2 days, January 27th through the 29th. As I mentioned, you're going to have an elaborate experience at the Bellagio in a private suite with myself, along with Jacent and several other queens. And it's just intimate. It's not a huge group. I didn't want it big. I wanted it intimate so that we could penetrate you on a cellular level and help you to elevate at the reigning supreme as queen. Thank you so much for joining us today. I just am so honored to have you. It has been just a beautiful show, helping women to just embrace who they are as queen. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Well, listen, this is it for right now. We'll see you back again next week. Same place, same channel. I'm really excited to have you join us. Spread the word about Ambitious Women Crown TV. Let everyone know, listen, this is what is happening now. Ambitious Woman Crown TV is helping me to learn things about myself I never knew, or it's helping to challenge me in areas where I didn't know if I wanted to really stretch. It's about, getting the mindset of a queen on this channel. And so thank you for joining us. Really excited to have you back next week. We'll see you again soon. Crown on. Greatness and successes in your bloodline. So keep the faith, queen. You were created to shine. Come on. Yeah. Crown on.